iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams, race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12 Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to the Joe Six-Pack Pick 'em Up Cup Series. Here tonight, we are at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Who's going to gamble? Who's going to win big? We'll find out here after 90 laps at this 1.5-mile track. We're in store for a good one as we're wrapping up the end of practice here. Mike Kellenbeck in the 70 Ford F-150 is on the top of the charts as we'll head over to qualifying here and see who will be tonight's Quick Time Award. Of course, tonight's race is presented by the sponsor you see in the top right of your screen, Greg's Lawn and Garden Care. Be sure if you need any sort of care for your outdoor, be sure to check out Greg's Lawn and Garden Care. They do some awesome work over there. As we get trucks rolling here out for qualifying, we'll go down trackside and see if we can pick up a few of these trucks. Looks like we have the 21 machine of Rob Lowe. He's up on the high side, winding that truck on up and coming to take his first green flag lap here as he crosses the start-finish line. This track is very interesting, folks, because with these trucks, I'm pretty sure it is wide open. It is, in fact, wide open for the first couple laps until these tires start to wear. So the question is, how hard do you push these tires at the start when it's wide open? Do you start lifting right away? Do you start taking her easy? We'll find out during the race. But right now, it's all about pushing these trucks to the limit, seeing where they can end up on the speed charts as the 21 machine crosses the line. So far, MP number 3, as we'll put up the tower on the left side of your screen. As the 70 machine of Mike Kellenbeck was on the top of the speed charts in practice. As he just gets knocked off, the good old announcer Jinx strikes him. We'll see if he can improve his second lap here. But right now, Michael Rosenberger at the top of your charts as David Hartney now does it. As we watch the 21 truck go to the top for himself. So Rob Lowe, who we were watching that whole entire time, is the provisional pole till Mike Kellenbeck takes it back away. So it seems like the second lap is going to be the money lap as we look to the 72 Dirtbag Clothing Machine of West Frank Norman. He has done his first lap here. I assume winding it on up, getting ready for this second money lap as he goes down the backstretch for the final time here in qualifying. As Keith Fonseca goes to the top in the 61 machine. We'll see if anyone can knock him on down. As the 72 machine crosses the start-finish line, he will go P number 7 as of right now. And we just see how close those times are. We'll pull up everyone's best time so you can see. But a very, very close field here in qualifying. It should be a great race as we go to the 52 truck out on track, but the 998 on the scoring board of Dakota Wilson going down the backstretch here, getting this truck up to speed. As I believe this should be his first time lap here at the start finish line. As Jason Wiley in the 13 goes to P number 6 as we see Dakota here complete his first lap, go to P16. But here's the money lap. Here's where he can make it or break it as he goes down the backstretch for the final time. As he comes off of turn number 4 for the final time, hits the start-finish line, and goes P number 7 on the timing and scoring. So, some great times overall. The top 15, folks, if you look at that timing and scoring on the left side, the top 15 all within 0.08 of a second. So, these times are right on top of each other. These truck speeds are right on top of each other. It should make for some great racing action, as we do actually have 21 trucks here, but only 20 trucks have taken a qualifying time. The only truck not taking a time, the 01 machine of Ethan Michaels. As it looks like we get in the last few seconds of qualifying, that will give the pole and the quick time award here at Las Vegas to Keith Fonseca in the 61. As qualifying wraps up here, folks, we will go now trackside and go through tonight's starting order for the Greg's Lawn and Garden Care 90 at Las Vegas. As we have the 61 machine, back row sim racing, Keith Fonseca in the 61, starting on tonight's pole. To his outside, Mike Killenbeck in the 70 from Low Kill Racing. Starting on the inside, second row, Mike Rosenberger in the 55. Rob Lowe in the 21 will start to his outside. And rounding out our top 5, David Hartney in the 97. Let's see if that 97 machine has any luck tonight, because he has been struck out many of times in all of these races. Hopefully he can find some good luck at the gambling track itself of Las Vegas. To his outside, Jason Wiley in the 13. Starting P number 7, Dakota Wilson in the 998 or the 52 on his truck. To his outside, David Lomaga in the 34. Starting 9th is West Frank Norman in the 72. And rounding out our top 10 here tonight, Kevin Duran in the 7. 11th will be Johnny Barker in the 6. 12th is John Humphreys in the 4. 13th will be Jeff Crosby Sr. in the 33. 14th is Brad Yuckman in the 97. 15th is Eli Raposa in the 46. 16th is Robert Tuiscu in the 28. George Rick Kahn will start 17th. 18th is Greg Dreiss in the 64. 19th is Joe Nelson in the 76. Gene Cato in the 8 will start 20th. And rounding out our field tonight in the 24th starting position, the 01 machine of Ethan Michaels. As we see the grid here rolling, they're getting ready to do battle. We see the cars driving straight over top of us as we see the lights are extinguished on the iRacing pace car. We are going green this time by. As we look to the front of our field, the front row once again, Keith Fonseca in that black Chevy Silverado to his outside, that red Marines number 70 machine of Mike Kellenbeck will wait for the green. As the pace car makes the hard left-hand turn down pit road, now we wait for the lights. As we are green flag racing here as Las Vegas and for the Greg's Lawn and Garden Care 90. As the front row gets a awesome start, but fourth place Rob Lowe with a bad start. All the way back down to P number 8 and dropping still as we're looking at the front here. Already Michael Rosenberger trying to tack the lead here coming off of turn number 2 as they fan out down the backstretch. We'll look here as trucks are side by side all through this field. We look back a little bit further. Some good racing action mid-pack right now as everyone gets sorted on out, and we do complete lap number 1 of 90 as these guys figuring it out, trying to see where they want to run, what lane they want to run in, how hard do they push these tires at the start. As the top 3 are under a blanket, all trying to get to some clean air, get that front end to grip. Because one tricky thing here at Las Vegas is the top side is fast, but it wears down the tires. Also, turns 1 and 2 has some killer bumps about a car length to 2 car lengths up. Like right now, the leader's driving straight through those bumps, and those are hard on the tires, hard to keep control of the truck. So we'll have to see if people start splitting that, whether going low or going high. And both have its advantages and disadvantages. Just will you pick the right line at the right time? As this top 7 here, folks, all under a blanket, right on top of each other. As we see Michael Rosenberger challenging for the race lead going into turn number 1. The 55 machine down low, 61 up top. Give the advantage to the 55, but now the 61 will have the run and goes right to the back bumper of the 55 machine down the backstretch. And then we see Dakota Wilson in that Wilson Motorsports graphics machine on the charge, already up 5 positions. He's saying, I'm not saving any sort of tire. It's go time from the drop of the green, and he's doing just that. As we see him take the inside line here as the 55 doing a little bit of a magic act. As we are back here for lap number 6 already. So far we've been green flagged this whole time and looking good. As we look for the battle for the race lead now. Dakota Wilson down low. Mike Rosenberger up top. As we see them still side by side here through turns 3 and 4. They have not moved away from each other, and the pack just sitting in the draft behind them here. We see now the 70 machine of Mike Kellenbeck down low. The 13 machine of Jason Wiley had to re-recognize that truck as he's in an orange scheme. Used to that green scheme, and now he's out here in the bright orange. This another sweet looking scheme from the 13 crew. As this front pack still double file besides the race leader of Mike Rosenberger. He is leading the way, creating the draft as they are 2 by 2, 3 rows deep, and looking to gain some more trucks here as the likes of the 21, 97, and 33 catching this lead pack already. Some great racing action here early in this race. We are already lapped number 10 of 90. Don't forget, guys, we do have only 50% fuel in these trucks tonight. 2 tires over the wall, so we'll see these trucks at least come down pit road once here tonight. But the question is, when do you take tires? Because you only have a limited amount of sets. As the 72, gets a little bit tight there and almost gets the 70 as they have to back out of it. You see how much ground you lose if you lift too much at these trucks. This place is such a momentum track, especially early on these fresh tires. As we look at the 97 machine of David Hartney, we'll actually jump on board with him here and see what it's like to be out there on track for the Joe Sixpack Podcast onboard shot of David Hartney in the 97, currently running 10th, and we'll see him navigate these trucks that air around him, trying to get in the clean air in the corners, go where a truck is not, but also be in the draft coming off the corner and down the backstretch when it matters. As you see the 21 machine all over the back bumper of David Lomaga, had to jump out of line there. Now we see, as we ride on board with David Hartney, all over the back bumper of the 6 of Johnny Barker. Some great bumper-to-bumper racing here. As the 97 looks high of the 6. The 6 drives it on in there, hits those bumps. You see how bumpy it is for that truck in front of him, how much of a struggle it is to keep on the bottom. As Wes Frank Norman down low, a little slow, maybe didn't get the best run off the corner. That may put him 3 wide, as the 97 we are riding on board with does have the 6 car to his inside. As the 21 machine almost gets the wall, maybe does, showers us with sparks, and what a onboard shot this has been so far. Might keep it on him another lap, because this racing is intense, and it's only going to keep on ramping up as the race goes on. Yeah, it looks like it's hard to keep that momentum now down low. If you get stuck down there, you're kind of going to the back, so it seems like this racing groove has started to move up in typical Las Vegas fashion, trying to keep that momentum in these trucks. These trucks are some of the lowest horsepower NASCAR-style cars, but because of that, they're also pretty aero dependent, so they got a lot of drag built to them since they're pretty boxy. So that's why we'll see these trucks keep on moving up, trying to stay in the throttle the longest, just to keep that momentum up, keep these trucks wound up as much as possible. As he does clear him and is currently now up to P number 7. As you look a little bit further ahead, the 13 and the 52 machines side by side, both those orange trucks. Also, we got Mike Hillenbeck right on the bumper as well, trying to add another horse in this race. As the 70 just clears him, has the 52 all over his back bumper going into turn number 3. And usually you want to be at the bottoms of turns 3 and 4 just because there's not as much progressive banking like there is in 1 and 2. But we may see that line even move on up depending on how these trucks continue to develop, as racing at Las Vegas during the day can be pretty loose, pretty tough, and a bit of a handful for these racers. As you see one truck get loose and does an awesome job of saving it. I think that was the 64 machine of Greg Dreiss trying to get back up to the top. The 732 of George Rickon right there to block that move. So It'll be side by side going into turn 1. 64 machine down low, the 732 up top. As the 732 will have the preferred line, carry that momentum. The 64 will jump back up to the top, get back in that draft, and try and set up another move if he can. These guys are putting down some great lap times all over this racetrack and continue to battle. As we go up to the front, Michael Rosenberger, able to check out a little bit from the rest of the field, has about a, let me check here, has about a second gap now over second place of Keith Fonseca. So he is in front of the draft from that 61. So the 61 not getting any sort of tow from the leader. And that's what the 55 just wants to do, as they are door to door here for third place here. As Mike Killenbeck able to roll that top side so well, get around that 13 truck. Now the 21 machine of Rob Lowe doing the same thing here, coming off of turn number 4, and does clear him. So we'll have to see the 13. I'd have to imagine that 13 truck now will go high, trying to hit these lines that these guys around him are doing, as he does go back to the bottom. So impresses me there, as he does get a pretty good run. And these guys are catching our second place runner of Keith Fonseca. So we may have a battle for second here very soon. As the 21 machine gets an awesome run off of turn 4. He looks to the outside and is to the outside of the 70 machine. So 70 machine down low, 21 up top as they float it into turn number 1. The 70 had the shorter way around, but the tougher line had to weigh on the throttle a lot more. And Rob Lowe, we saw him drop to the back at the start. I think he was really saving his tires, really managing his pace, and now able to turn it on up a little bit more than the trucks around him, and doing an awesome job at it, as he is up to maybe number 2, as the leader has come down pit road. So the first group of trucks already down pit road on lap 23. That will hand the race lead over to Keith Fonseca. We'll have to see if anyone else has any troubles getting down pit road, as now this time by the leader of the 61 does come down pit road, as most of the field around him does end up coming on down. That'll leave only 2 trucks out here that have not pit, the 732 and our points leader, Brad Yuckman, in the 93 machine. Both trying to stretch this fuel as long as they can. As I'd have to bet these 2 trucks will come in this time by, and they'll be able to complete lap 25, as the 93 machine going in deep, trying to get that thing wound down. A lot more aggressive in the banking than that 732, and you see just the distance, how far he started behind him, now how far ahead he is. So Brad Yuckman with an awesome stop, as there is the race lead pass. The 55 machine able to increase the gap a lot more even to the 61. And actually David Hartney in that 97 Silent Theory dirtbag machine moves up to P number 2. As Mike Rosenberger is out to a commanding lead, about 1 3/4 of a second over second place of David Hartney And then 3 seconds now to Keith Fonseca in third. So that short pitting doing wonders for these front runners. Able to have just one lap fresher, newer tires, but making the most of it. The question is, will it work for them once we get to the back end of this run? Only time will tell. As with those pit stops, it definitely reshuffled the field and created some gaps in the running order as we see Mike Killenbeck go around the 21 machine again. That 21 machine has some great pace, really being disciplined on himself to hit his marks and not push those tires too early. As we go back a little bit further and get some battles out on track, Jeff Crosby Sr. just got around the 4 of John Humphreys. Now he's under fire from Greg Dreiss in that 64 machine. Some of the closest running cars out on track here. As you see all sorts of different lines being used here at Las Vegas. This is a dynamic track. So what that means is as you heat up one groove, as it gets more wear, as it gets more tire, it starts to get looser, starts to lose some grip, not be as fast, so then you can kind of search around the racetrack, try and find that speed, try and find that grip that no other truck is running. So we'll see trucks kind of run all sorts of different lines here tonight as this race continues to develop under this hot sun here at Las Vegas. As I did my part today for the Vegas race today, I actually went to the casino over by my place and played a little bit of the slots. Actually got a little bit lucky, so maybe I can give some luck to a driver tonight, and we'll see who can get lucky out here and park it in victory lane. As we see the 72 machine get around David Lomaga. That is for P number 9, and now Eli Raposa now mounting an attack on the 34 as well. As we see here, a battle for the lead. Mike Killenbeck has chased down this race leader and is to the inside and clear of the 55. So not sure if the 55 is in fuel save mode or whatnot, or if the 70 machine is turning it on up. But he is flying, putting down some killer lap times. As we'll go show maybe the last couple laps from the 70 here and just show what kind of lap times he's been running differently compared to maybe the second place of Mike Rosenberg. As you see, Killenbeck a second and a quarter quicker, another second and a quarter quicker, a second, 1.3 seconds, 1 second, 1.1 seconds again that last time around. So that 70 machine, as they're running some killer lap times and found another gear or whatnot, but he is dropping the hammer, as they would say, and putting down some scorching fast laps here as we complete lap 33 of 90. As we go back to this battle here, Brad Yuckman now in this with it. As we try and see out the backside of the 72 Dirtbag clothing machine. As we look back at the trucks battling behind him, we are currently riding on board with the 72 running P6. And you see the battle for 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th behind him. As you hear, folks, with that throttle, not too much, if any, lifting going on. So these trucks still very much momentum based. You hear him playing with the throttle just a hair through 3 and 4, making sure that he doesn't get the wall or anything like that. as he has started to catch the 21 and the 61 as well. So this will be a battle for 4. Oh, it's one truck in the wall. West Frank Norman have to make big time evasive maneuvers. That looked like Keith Fonseca hard in the backstretch wall. That truck will have a lot of damage and be way off the pace now with how momentum based this track is. Because here on iRacing, any sort of damage, any sort of tear in these bodies, they will be very slowed down with the drag. So that 61 machine hoping for a yellow flag here very quickly, or else he may find himself the first truck a lap down in this race. As we hear a call from a driver, the second round of pit stops might be starting this lap. As Mike Killenbeck, he's just in a different zip code right now, folks. He is still checking out from this field, now put a 6-second gap to Mike Rosenberger. So Killenbeck is killing the times and this field as of right now. As we have the first truck down pit road for our second round of stops. We'll have to see. Everyone made it through the first time with no sort of penalties. We'll see if everyone can do it for a second time here tonight at Las Vegas, presented by Greg's Lawn and Garden Care. As you look back a little bit further, this 732 of George Rickon got around the 93 of Brad Yuckman. That'll move the 732 up into P number 9. But Brad Yuckman in the draft might put up a little bit more of a fight. As we see in the line, folks, both ends of the track moving on up. Now they're only about 3 to 4 truck lengths away from the wall in 3 and 4. And we'll kind of see where they go here in 1 and 2. For sure, moving on up in this track, searching for that new grip, as now they're about 5 to 6 truck lengths away from the wall in 1 and 2. But definitely moving up this racetrack up front, as, man, Mike Killenbeck opening up this gap to almost 10 seconds now. Maybe we'll have to ride on board with Rosenberger here. Try and figure out what he's doing for the Soma Coffee onboard shot of the 55. You hear him lifting a good bit. Maybe he's going into fuel saving mode. Maybe he's got a different big plan picture. He tries to get the most laps out he can of this fuel tank. Yeah, you hear him lifting even on the top side, and that will kill your momentum. As he is struggling with a tight car, you heard him have to get back out of the throttle. That will give second place to West Frank Norman. And here comes Easy Eli in the 46 right on his back bumper, you see in the virtual iRacing mirror. As we hear another call out for a pit. If this 55 machine is struggling in the handling division, we'd have to think we see him sometime here soon. As now under fire from the 33 Skull machine of Jeff Crosby Sr., as well as right behind him, David Lomaga in that 34 DTL Customs machines. Sorry, DLT. As Jeff Crosby Sr. will jump on board with him, seeing how this car is running, as he is able to wrap that bottom side and get a great run off that corner. So that 33 Skull machine working pretty well for this driver. Up 9 positions in this race and looking to try and make it 10 if he can reel in that 46 truck way up there. As we see the 55 who is struggling with those tires finally down pit road on lap number 45 to go back up to the front. Mike Killenbeck still in his own zip code. 11 seconds over our second place runner here of West Frank Norman, and rounding out our top three, Eli Raposa in this 46 machine. So Dirtbag Clothing, Dirtbag Racing having a good showing here so far with 2 trucks within the top 3. As we do click over halfway in this race, we saw cross flags for the 70 machine last time by. Halfway down, halfway to go, as he is down pit road here with some lap traffic around him actually. Wow. As he gets it to his stall, that will hand the race lead over to the 72 F-150 machine of West Frank Norman. As I heard there over the scanner for this team, 72 coming in this time. We'll have to see how he gets down pit road and see if his teammate behind him decides to follow him on in as well. As we see the flames shoot out both exhaust pipes of both these trucks. That means both them coming down, both them having to lift, and both them with conservative stops and get down cleanly. As most of the field behind him rolls it on down and makes it down pit road. You saw a little bit of smoke out of Joe Nelson in that 76 Broken Skull IPA machine, but gets it woed down and into his box here as we go back out to the race leader. Once it cycles on through, Mike Killenbeck continues to put on some great lap times as we ride on board with our current race leader, George Rickon, trying to extend this fuel as long as he can. Same with Brad Yuckman, as Brad goes down pit road that time. Only 2 trucks left out on these old tires, the 732 and the 01 machine. We'll have to see how many more laps they decide to go out. As we see the 732 won't it on down, getting it to pit road. I assume we'll see the 01 as well follow suit. As he does just that, gets it down on the apron, getting that woed up for that Hoonigan 01 machine of Ethan Michaels. That will hand the race lead over back to the 70, and he has actually increased his lead even more. Now 13.5 seconds over David Hartney in P number 2. As we jump here, these guys racing pretty well. David Hartney, another Dirtbag Clothing driver, back up inside the top 3. As we got a lot of trucks around this area on the track. We'll maybe throw here. I'll take a break from yapping, and we'll let the cars do the talking as we'll go crank it up here for a few laps around Las Vegas. as we get some great sights and sounds from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, as we got a battle for P number 2 on track. Mike Rosenberger gets around the 97 of David Hartney, but we'll see if the 97 decides to fight on back or if he decides it's still too early in this race. But it is already halfway over as Mike Killenbeck continues to lead this race. His gap is slightly diminishing to the trucks behind him, but still running a stellar pace. As that time by, he clicked over to lap 56 of 90. As so far in this race, folks, you haven't missed any race caution action, as we have been green flag racing this whole entire race. So these guys have been putting on a clinic, driving the wheels off these trucks and doing it cleanly. There has been battles all over this racetrack, and some good ones as we see the 8 car of Gene Cato, a man on the mission. So far the biggest mover of this race in that chrome number 8 machine. He is up 13 positions, trying to make it 14 as he gets a great run on the 21 going down the backstretch. Gene Cato took it easy, I assume, in qualifying and showing off the race pace of this 8 truck here as we see how close he is to the 21 going down the front stretch. Not even a truck length in between them, as we'll see how close they can really get as they dive into turn number 1. You see the 8 having to lift just a little bit to make sure he doesn't run over the 21. Always a good racing move there to make sure that you take care of your fellow competitors. And I'm liking what I see out of this 8. If he keeps up this pace, he might be looking at a top 5 if he can get around this 21 machine in fairly decent time here as he looks to the bottom. Not quite enough of a run. As now he is there to the bottom of the 21. As they'll drag race down the backstretch, head into turn number 3. The 8 car will be in the preferred position down low, especially if he's on newer tires. It looks like he is, as he's able to complete the pass and move himself up into P number 6. As we look at another big mover of this race, Jeff Crosby Sr. I see we have Jeff Crosby Jr. cheering on Pops in the YouTube chat lands. He is looking like he's having a great run. This Skull 33 machine tuned in, hit the setup nail on the head. And hopefully he can finish strong. Would love to chat with him at some point in the season, as he's one spot away from that podium interview spot. We'll see if he can get it done here tonight at Las Vegas. As he is starting to get reeled in by our points leader, Brad Yuckman. This guy, he's the closer. I tell you what, guys, like, I don't see him too often in the relative inside the top 10, top 5 until about at least halfway in these races. Then all of a sudden he's inside the top 5, top 3 by 10 laps to go or so. It's like, where did this 93 machine come from? He is the closer of Joe Sixpack Racing League Truck Series, I want to say, because he can just get it done when it matters the most. Turn on the jets in the late stages of these races and make up a ton of track position, ton of positions with it as well. So Brad Yuckman now up into P number 4. And now setting the sights on the 97, but has a lot of track to do it. As we go back up to our race leader, Mike Killenbeck. Lead is down to 3 seconds, but it could be just him saving this run versus other trucks saving the last run. So we'll have to see how this shakes on out, because it seems like they can make it at most 25 laps on a fuel tank. So they will have to get to about lap 66 to try and stretch it to the end. So it looks like there'll be one more green flag pit stop to try and shake up the running order, as we'll have to see when trucks decide to come on down pit road. It seems like the safer bet is to try and make it to 23, 22 laps to go. That way you can be a lot more wide open, push it to the truck to the limit every single lap. So we'll have to see how this works on out as you slowly start to see second place Mike Rosenberger just outside of the screen in certain shots. So he is coming, as we'll go look at our lap times between the front two. Rosenberger able to close the gap about half a second every single lap, and does just that once again. So the 55 machine on the attack of the 70 here with 25 laps to go here from Las Vegas. As we see the first truck to come down on for some new fresh tires is the 97 machine of David Hartney. So he will be the first taker, as we see Rosenberger just under a second taken off again that lap. So the 55 Piglu machine is closing the gap very quickly to our race leader. As we see more cars coming down pit road, making their final scheduled stop of the night. As we see the 55 doing just that here. He's going to push it to the limit, just get down to pit road speed in time. As we see some black tire marks down pit road, maybe someone had an issue. As this will move up Brad Yuckman to P number 2. And we got to assume that 70 truck, seeing that second place and I believe third pitted there, he has to be coming then this time by if he wants to stay on a competitive edge with these tires. As he goes around another lap, we'll have to see how that shakes out for the 70 team. As the longer he goes, the harder he can go with the throttle, not worry about saving fuel if that is the case for some of these drivers that pitted before him. And he'll have newer tires so he can run faster laps longer. The question is, he is losing a lot of time to those fresh tires, because every lap he's out here, he's probably losing 2 seconds to the likes of the 55 machine. As he stays out another lap, the 64 machine of Greg Dreiss on his bumper, trying to get a lap back with fresher tires. As I hear over the team scanner for the 70 machine, he is pitting this time by. So we'll have to see him hit his marks, make sure he doesn't speed, do anything silly, get that car to step out from under him, but also try and be aggressive as he can under braking to lose the little amount of time to the 55, as he is hard on the brakes on the track and does an awesome job blowing it down. That was one of the fastest pit road entries I've seen of the night for the 70 machine. But that'll hand over the race lead to our points leader. Brad Yuckman will lead a lap here at Las Vegas, as he is one of the few trucks still out that have not pitted him. The 732, the 76, and maybe the 46. I believe I'll double check my notes here, folks. Yeah, he has not pitted either. The 46 of Eli Raposa also did not pit, as well as the 93 machine is down pit road, as we just saw as we cut away there. So that will hand the race lead over to the 76 machine of Joe Nelson. We'll see the 76 also down pit road. Now we'll see if the 46 does this. Oh, tried to go down pit road that time, had traffic behind him, and they make heavy contact between the 4 and the 61. So some big time miscommunication. We got to wonder, does the 46 have enough fuel to make it back around and make it down pit road, as he lost a lot of time to this field and will continue to lose time as he is slower on the track with having to get out of the throttle as much as he did. As this time he'll go way low, make sure he stays out of everyone's way, and that will hurt his time and lose a lot of time to the trucks around him that he was racing on track. But with this pit cycle on through, the Silent Theory Dirtbag Clothing Machine 97 machine of David Hartney cycles out to be our race leader. Mike Killenbeck about 3 seconds back, but on, it looks like 5 lap newer tires than the 97. So he will be the force to reckon with. We'll see how much he's closing the gap here in a lap or two. As the 55 machine of Mike Rosenberger may have had an issue, as he is 2 laps down, so he may have sped or had some sort of issue on pit road and now out of contention. So that will make the race battle between the 97 and the 70, as the 70 has closed the gap already about 2/10. Now a truck length now to the inside, and hand the race lead back over to Mike Killenbeck, as David Hartney not able to put up a fight at all, as the 55 is right on his bumper, but this is not for position. The 55 trying to get his lap back the hard way, as the 70 should just let him go here, not racing for position or anything like that. So as so far, folks, we have been green flagged since we have started racing here at Las Vegas, as we click over 15 laps to go here at this 1.5 mile motor speedway. As Mike Killenbeck is driving away from this field. Now battle for second. Brad Yuckman in the 93 machine. Slightly fresher tires than our leader. 1 lap newer on those tires, but 2.5 seconds back. I don't think he'll have enough time to get him with only 14 laps to go. But like I said, this 93 machine is the closer of the series. As now we'll see if Gene Cato, I predicted him to be in the top 5 with how well he was running there mid-race. He has done so, and catching the 97 machine, he may actually get a podium, even better than what I predicted him as, and we might be able to get to talk to this 8 machine if he keeps up this pace. Is one of the closest battles on track. Ethan Michaels with a great rebound tonight. Started shotgun on the field, now inside the top 10, but starting to get under fire from Dakota Wilson. You see him there in that orange truck right behind him. He will have to defend this position if he wants to stay inside the top 10. As Gene Cato on screen here does get around the 97 for Pete number 3. So move the 8 chrome Valvoline machine to the podium, as these leaders are checked out in front of him. Don't think he'll have quite enough time to get to them, but he is looking pretty good, as the 46 behind him is a lap down. We saw him have to stay out an extra lap and lose all that time. He is currently in the lucky dog position if there was a yellow to fall. But as the 70 machine crosses the stripe there, we get 2 open palms. 10 laps to go here at Las Vegas. 15 miles left in this race. As we see here, David Hartney in the 97 machine down pit road with inside 10 laps to go. That will kill the finishing order for that 97 machine. So a tough break there. You gotta wonder, was that on the driver's end or the crew chief's end? As we get another truck calling into pit. So the question becomes, do these guys have enough in the fuel tank to make it to the end? This might be a fuel mileage race, boys and girls. As Mike Kellenbeck doesn't have too much room to save fuel, as he is 1.5 seconds ahead of Brad Yuckman. But both those guys have a ton of space over Gene Cato. So Gene's maybe in the catbird seat, can kind of hit his marks, really save fuel if he needs to, and hope that these two trucks in front of him run out of fuel if they start pushing each other to the limit. As we see the 70 truck way up against the wall. That's going to kill the speed. Maybe got in the wall glue a little bit with the right rear. We see the damage on the 70 truck. That will put the battle for the race lead side by side. Brad Yuckman will get the pass done on the outside. So new race leader, the 93 machine, but the 70 looking to fight back here. Will get in the draft and may put on a battle here with 7 laps to go. Here for the Greg's Lawn and Care 90 at Las Vegas. So we'll see the 70 machine will be driving the wheels off this thing. Doesn't want to give up a win like that here in the truck series. Not make it easy like that for the 93 machine. He will give the 93 machine a run for his money as they go down the backstretch here with 6 laps to go. As he closes in on the gap, running that slightly lower line through 3 and 4, and able to do so. Doesn't quite a good of a run off, but able to keep that momentum from the draft and close right back in. As that time by, we got the open palm from the flagman. 5 laps to go here at Las Vegas. As he is able to really roll 3 and 4 a lot better than the race leader. That 70 machine has a ton of speed through 3 and 4. That's where he really is able to be smooth with this truck at this track. 1 and 2, he's going through those bumps, trying to make it work, trying to be as low as possible with carrying that momentum. But 3 and 4, he's got that thing figured out. That truck looks like it's on butter. As we might get a little bit of lap traffic here of the 6 truck. We'll have to see how the leader navigates this. And this might open the door just enough for the 70 here as we get 3 laps to go here at Las Vegas. We see the distance, the gap to the race lead, about 4 to 5 truck lengths as the 6 car stays low. As it seems like Mike Killenbeck kind of stuck in the air bubble, about 3/10 behind the leader, not able to gain too much, but not able to lose too much more. As we get popsicle sticks up in the air for these 2 trucks. 2 laps to go. 3 miles left in this race. As we see the 93 machine come off of turn number 4, head into the white flag. This race will go caution free as we get the white flag presented by DTL Custom Graphics. The 93 machine of Brad Yuckman, the closer himself, with the race lead as he goes through turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Mike Killenbeck will try and mount one more charge. I don't think he's going to be close enough as they head into turn number 3 for the final time. The 70 will head low. The 93 will keep the momentum. And Brad Yuckman will get it done for another time here at the Truck Series as the 70 oh so close needed another lap. What a finish from green to checkers here at the Joe Six-Pack Pick 'em Up Truck Series. And what a finish. Not a truck length between them. That was some great racing. But the closer, Brad Yuckman, able to get it done again and continue to grow this points lead for this 93 team. Mike Killenbeck able to bring it home in second. And then the biggest mover of the race, Gene Cato, will round out our podium. We'll talk to all three of those guys here as we'll see the 93 machine burn it down for all you fans at home. As we see the 93 stop it on the front stretch, we'll let him get out and celebrate. We'll go to commercial, and when we come back, we'll talk to our third place finisher, Gene Cato.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here on the other side. We'll try and dial up our third place finisher here of the 8 machine of Gene Cato. Hey, Gene, do you got a copy? It's Brett the Jet here in the booth. Alrighty, man. So it seemed like you had some awesome pace in this 8 Valvoline machine today. I kind of checked you out halfway in this race. You were one of the biggest movers. By the end of the race, you were the biggest mover. How was this pace in this 8 truck tonight, and how'd you do it?
Oh, it was all strategy and teamwork. Crew chief Rob Lowe with the Wolfpack Racing. We just hung in there and.
Yeah, Gene, it seemed like you had some awesome speed and some awesome strategy here tonight. That was pretty impressive to see you come as deep as you did in the field from 20th all the way to 3rd place. That was awesome to watch. How was it kind of driving around all these trucks here tonight and being able to be the one on the move?
Oh, it was fun. It was a blast. It was everybody was holding their line good, and which made it good to move through the field.
And we didn't have any yellow flags, so awesome job by all you guys tonight. It was a heck of a race to watch. How was the workout in the truck for 90 laps here with no yellow flags to get a breather?
Oh, shoot, that's what we live for.
That is true. That's always the best kind of racing, when you can really push the truck and yourself to the limit.
That's right.
Well, Gene, it was an awesome race by you. Hopefully we'll talk to you more in the future. But before we let you go and go celebrate this podium position, I'm sure there's got to be a whole bunch of people you got to thank for this A crew here tonight.
Yeah, I'd like to thank Wolfpack Racing, Rob Lowe, Johnny Barger, Joe Six-Pack Racing, and Awesome Chevrolet.
Awesome, yeah. You got to represent these Chevys, as they actually finished pretty well tonight, if I'm not mistaken. They were 2 out of the top 3 and 4 out of the top 5. So the Chevy boys represented well here tonight at Las Vegas.
It was definitely in the wind. I was sputtering going across the finish line.
Wow, perfect strategy then. Right on the fumes.
Yeah.
Alrighty, Gene. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you. Hopefully we'll talk to you some more before the season ends. You have a great rest of your night and go celebrate this podium finish.
All right, will do. Thank you.
Alrighty, that was our third place finisher, Gene Cato. Now we'll talk to our runner-up driver. We'll see if we can get Mike Killenbeck on the mic. Mike, you got a copy?
Hey, here I am. How you doing, Brett?
Oh, pretty good. How was the 70 truck here tonight? It seemed like you had some awesome speed, especially after that first green flag pit stops. It seemed like you found another gear in the 70 truck.
Yeah, it was fast as hell, man. It was as fast as it could be all night long, man. Brad came out of nowhere. I wasn't paying attention. I looked down at my instruments, grazed the wall, and that's all it was. That's all, that's all there was. So what a bummer there at the end, man. But hell of a race, man. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, we went green, 2 checkers, no yellow flags in between. So it was all about strategy, making it down pit roads and keeping mistakes to a minimum. And that 70 truck did an awesome job of that. Like you said, you just got the wall in those closing laps, gave yourself a little bit of damage, but most importantly, it sadly slowed you down just enough to have the 93 machine close on in the gap even more. And you gave it a heck of a shot there, Mike. I thought you were going to have one last swing at it. You hit turns 3 and 4 awesome. It seemed like you definitely had the speed there and were the best truck through 3 and 4 all through the night.
Yeah, if I had a few more laps, maybe I would have caught him. But Brad's a great racer. He has a tendency to come out of nowhere, and I'm happy with second. I'll take second today. It's been tough finishing here lately, but yeah, I'll take it.
Yeah, this field and competitors, a second place is nothing to laugh at. That's always impressive to do it with this caliber of racers here. As Mike, we got to ask, what was kind of going through your mind there the last couple laps? We saw it seemed like you were driving the wheels off that thing, just trying to close that gap, and it seemed like you had that dirty air buffer between you and the leader and couldn't quite get close enough.
Yeah, I was just trying to bring it down in the turns there. You got to bring it right down to the white line, and I was trying to hit him perfect and get that draft off of Brad, but it was just a little bit too little, too late. Like I say, a couple more laps maybe, but hey, congratulations to Brad.
Yep, he did a awesome race. Same with you, Mike. Well, before we let you go and celebrate this runner-up finish, I'm sure there's got to be a whole bunch of people you got to thank for the 70 crew here tonight.
Yeah, first and foremost, Greg Dreas to put on and keep Joe Sixpack Racing going. I mean, the guy does a great job. It's a lot of fun. I mean, he keeps this league exciting, and he doesn't get enough credit for that. I know he puts a lot of his own time into it. But besides that, my team, Elite Sim Racing, David Lamaga. I mean, he's the guy that does all the paints for us, and Al Reed and Robert Tuiscu. Great teammates. I'm glad I'm a part. I feel like I'm probably the weakest link of the team, but I'm learning a lot from them, and I couldn't be happier to be a part of that team.
Yeah, it definitely is a great team to be a part of, and David always giving out some great paint schemes. Always enjoying the marine schemes on the 70 machine.
Yeah, that was a corpsman back in the Navy back in the 80s, and so I was a 8404 Marine Corps corpsman. So they're near and dear to my heart, and I support the Navy and the Marine Corps, so that's why I wear those paints.
Awesome. Well, appreciate your service. Thank you for your service, and of course, I'll let you go here. Go celebrate this runner-up finish, and I'm sure you get a kick out of this. Let's go Eagles,
Absolutely. All right. Thanks a lot, Brett. Thanks for what you do, man. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too, Mike. Alrighty, now we'll go down to victory lane here and try and dial up our winner, the closer himself, Brad Yuckman. Brad, do you got a copy?
I am here. How you doing tonight?
Oh, man, Brad. Pretty good, but I don't think as good as you. Man, you are You are the closer of this series. I tell you
That
what.
was exciting.
That was exciting. I don't know how you do it, Brad. Like, I'm looking at the timing scoring through the race, and you always are inside the top 5 with about 30 to go, if not a little bit sooner. And then after that, it's like, boom, you're inside the top 3, and then battling for a race win, it seems like, always with 10 to go.
It's cool to get my 3rd win of the season. I mean, this was all strategy. You probably weren't even talking about me at the beginning of the race. I was so far in the back.
Yeah, I didn't have you on my radar at all at the start. I think I mentioned you once down in like 15th or something. I said, oh, man, he's got his work cut out for him. And you did just that, Brad. Holy smokes. You did an awesome job, played the strategy perfect, had one mistake from the 70 machine, and you took full advantage of it to, like you said, bring home your 3rd win of the season.
Yeah, he was tough. I mean, I was slowly catching him with about 10 laps to go, and I wasn't sure if I'd be able to pass him, but I knew if I got behind him and he started looking behind in his rearview mirror, that wall bit him.
Yeah, and that wall is so tough, especially going into turn 3. It's so deceptive how it slowly starts to curve, then all of a sudden a big jump with a safer barrier, and it looked like he just got it with his right rear, and that was enough for this 93 machine to pounce and take home the win. How was the truck overall, Brad? It seemed like you had some great long run speed in this 93 machine.
Well, the first run, I saved my tires because I knew we would have to pit and not be able to take tires. We only had 2 sets of tires in the pit, so you only had one of your pit stops you had to not take tires. So I purposely saved my tires on the first run, so I'd have the second run to slowly work my way up. And then I knew my last 2 pit stops, I'd have fresh stickers on there and just go for it.
Yeah, and that you did, Brad. You reeled in, I believe you're either 4 seconds or 3 seconds back from the 70 machine and able to close that gap when it mattered the most in the closing stages. And another impressive run by you, Brad. I tell you what, you put on a show, especially in these closing laps.
Oh, it's so much fun running with these guys. I mean, it's clean racing. It's just great.
Yeah, you guys put on a heck of a show. All the competitors out here tonight with a green to checkered race and action-packed throughout. There was all sorts of battles all over this dynamic track of Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Yeah, I can't wait to go back and watch the video on this and see how it all played out for everybody else.
Yeah, it was another good one. Always the case for the Joe Sixpack Racing Pick 'em Up series. Well, Brad, before we let you go and celebrate it down in Victory Lane once again, I'm sure there's got to be a whole bunch of people you got to thank for this 93 team here tonight.
Well, I wish I had a real team to thank, but I'm independent all by myself, so it's makes it tough sometimes, where everyone else, some of the other guys have teammates, but I appreciate my crew in the pits. They did awesome pit stops for me to get me out and pick up some time there. Greg with Joe Sixpack Racing puts on an awesome league. I love these leagues with him. You and your broadcast, I love going back to watch them. And that Chevy Silverado was super fast tonight.
That it was. And Brad, yeah, if any other teams of Joe Sixpack Racing League are watching, the 93 machine needs a team home. So be sure to pick up the points leader. I mean, how much more could you ask from the guy?
Well, next season, when the next season rolls around, I'm going to try to start my own team, try to recruit some guys that I know.
All righty, there you go, Brad. That's the way to do it. Start up your team and build it from the ground up.
Absolutely.
All righty, Brad. Well, we'll go let you celebrate it down in Victory Lane. I'm going to go wrap it up here in the booth. I'll be down to party it up with you afterwards. But once again, big congratulations to this 93 team. Continue to grow this points lead as we leave Las Vegas Motor Speedway.
Thanks. Have a great night.
Yep, you as well, Brad. Go celebrate it.
Woo.
All righty, folks. That was our race winner, Brad Yuckman. Once again, in the 93 machine, gets it done in the late stages. I tell you what, he is the closer of the Joe Sixpack Racing League. Awesome stuff from all these drivers out here tonight as we go to the live here and start to wrap things on up in the booth. Man, hopefully it was as fun in the stands as it was in the booth tonight, because it was a blast to call this race. All sorts of action throughout this field, all sorts of battles, all sorts of strategies, just like Brad said there in the interview. Only 2 sets of tires, so we saw the trucks come down 3 times. You could only put on tires for 2 of them, so people had to gamble and really strategize here tonight, and I love me a good strategy race. As we go live here, and we'll get tonight's race results. As we try and get the race results, and there we go. We finally get the editor to put it up on screen. Brad Yuckman in the 93 machine for Deep Dive Racing gets it done once again for win number 3 of the season, this time here at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Mike Killenbeck with that amazing run. Had all sorts of speed in that 70 machine. Will bring it home in the runner-up position. Gene Cato, the biggest mover of the race, up 17 spots to finish in P number 3. George Rickon in the 732 had that long strategy just like our winner, able to bring that thing home in the top 5, brings it home P4. So another impressive run by the 732. And rounding out our top 5 tonight, Jason Wiley in the 13. 6th place goes to Ethan Michaels, who started shotgun on the field. 7th place goes to Dakota Wilson in the 998. Keith Fonseca in the 61. Finishes in 8th. 9th goes to Jeff Crosby Sr., bringing home another top 10 in the 9th position. Wes Frank Norman for Dirtbag Racing brings it home 10th. David Lomaga in the 34 brings it home P11. 12th goes to Robert Tuisku in the 28. 13th is Joe Nelson in the 76. Johnny Barker in the 6 brings it home 14th. 15th is Eli Raposa in the 46. David Hartney, another tough break for the 97, had to pit late, finishes 16th. 17th goes to Kevin Duran in the 7. 18th goes to Mike Rosenberger, probably the hard luck of the night, finishing in P number 18. 19th goes to Greg Dreiss in the 64. 20th is Rob Lowell in the 21. And rounding out our field tonight, John Humphrey, who we saw get that heavy front end contact with, I believe it was a 61, finishes in 21st. So we got to give a big shout out to, of course, Joe Sixpack Racing League and tonight's title sponsor, Greg's Lawn and Garden Care. Be sure if you need any sort of outdoor care, be sure to check them out on Facebook at Greg's Lawn and Garden Care. Of course, we got to give a shout out to all the league sponsors, the likes being LugCoin, Soma Coffee, Plan B Sales. Use code JSP at checkout for free shipping. Of course, DTL Custom Graphics. And of course, if you want to listen more, hear some more about these racers, check out the Joe Sixpack podcast on all your favorite streaming sites. Of course, got to give a shout out to all the viewers, whether live or replay. Got to thank every single one of you. Of course, Turn 3 Racing Network. Be sure to check them out for all the great racing action throughout the week. I am Brett the Jet here, and this has been a great race. Be sure to check us out next week as we come back for some more racing action. Everyone have a great night. Be safe, and of course, just flew by you. Have a good one, everyone.